Hi everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another royal news video. So 2023 was a disastrous year for Harry and Meghan's careers and their reputations, but it seems 2024 has turned around and said, hold my beer, bitches, because it is off to a disastrous start for the ex-royal couple. But continuing on, the 23rd of February, Harry or his legal team will be back in court. But this, for a change, is not a lawsuit brought by Harry himself. No, this is the Heritage Foundation, who want to know exactly how Harry is in America and how he managed to get a visa after his admission to taking substances that would have any other normal Joe banned from obtaining a visa and swiftly deported if they were actually in America at the time. How and why is he in their country? Obviously, we know the answer. Rich people have a very different set of rules to us mere mortals. But Heritage Foundation is saying, no, we're not having that. Now, Harry and his team tried to have this thrown out of court. Under privacy laws, it would be a breach in security for Harry. But thankfully, a US judge has actually ruled, no, I'm actually willing to hear the argument from the Heritage Foundation. America has very strict visa rules, and Harry has continued to brag, to openly talk about not just things he did when he was younger, but his continued use of certain illegal substances, shall we say, from entry point in America from 2020. So Harry has, in every which way possible, thrown himself under the bus. Now, in more court case news, Harry, who called himself the Slayer of Dragons, this was him with his battle against the media. We're going to call him the Dragon Slayer for now. Harry has got so many court cases. He's finally got rid of two recently. One he had to hand over and turn around and say, oh, sorry, I can't continue with this. And he's been hit with massive costs. And another one, he did get a minor win. You'd think with having the relief of two court cases now disappearing from, I'm sure, Harry's very incredibly heavy workload, you'd just enjoy it, wouldn't you? He'd take off his little tin helmet, his little cardboard sword, and he would be done slaying dragons for a while. No, Harry has now decided he wants to have another day back in court against the Mirror Group again. Harry was mildly successful recently against the Mirror Group. After a 7-week trial, Harry won £140,000 as the judge said that he agreed 15 out of the 33 articles put forward by Harry and his team were from illegal hacking methods. Harry had originally put forward 148 articles for this case. His legal team sifted through them. They selected 33, which I am taking a wild guess here were the most likely to win, of which Harry won 15 and the others were struck out because Harry didn't have any evidence. But the judge did rule in favour of these 15 because he said the information was likely obtained through illegal hacking methods. But Harry, not happy with this tiny paltry win, he's like, no, I don't care. I want to go back. I want the other remaining 115, which is obviously his legal team said we've not got a good chance of winning here. He wants it thrown back. I mean, this judge must be scratching his head thinking, I became a judge to put criminals behind bars, and here I am dealing with a spoilt prince's hurt feelings again. The number of lawsuits that Harry has taken out is absolutely absurd beyond this point. The cheese has slid off of his cracker. He doesn't seem particularly well. But I do think that Harry has got a lot of pent-up anger and frustration. And because his family have now cut him off, he's got no one to swing punches at. So whilst he got this small win and he's now down 2 court cases, he wants to go back and swing some punches at someone else. Now, where this is also laughable is, as I said, he did win a whole 140k, but Harry also just lost £750,000 because he dropped his case against the Mail the day that he was supposed to hand over all of his evidence. This is the same court case that Harry and his team demanded a summary judgment. Basically means it doesn't go to trial. The judge has what he's got in front of him and he will make a decision and rule in favour of either party. Harry didn't want it to go to court because, as it turns out, he doesn't have any receipts, much like his wife. Now, all laughs aside, this brings me to my final story, and some of you might find this a little bit upsetting. I know that I did. 2 weeks ago, I watched a fantastic TV documentary. Simon Reeve, I love him. If you like Attenborough, I'd say he is definitely on par with the quality of the documentaries that he presents. And it's not just about animals, it's exploring the remotest parts of the world, cultures, animals, people, as well as the landscapes. It's truly breathtaking. And he's got a series on at the moment called Wilderness. It's on BBC and you can watch it on Catch Up BBC iPlayer. And clips of it are also on YouTube for those of you outside of the UK. Now, here's one that he did 2 weeks ago. He was in the Congo and he was staying with a group of indigenous people called the Baka. He stayed with them to learn about their community, how they hunt, how they use the forest as medicine, as well as to build their homes. They have lived as part of the forest for thousands of years, and they are very much part of the ecosystem of the Congo Basin. As Simon Reeve said, they do not take what they want, they take only what they need. And unfortunately, these are the people that are involved in this storyline to do with Harry's charity, Africa Parks. Now, Africa Parks, Harry joined in 2016, where he was part of an expat team that were helping elephant conservation in Malawi. In 2017, Harry became president of the organisation for 6 years until October last year, when he stepped down to become a board member. Now, this story was strangely not released by the publicity-hungry Harry and Meghan. They so much as fart in a lift. We get several PR articles from People magazine telling us all about it. But this strangely remained under the radar. Now, people on social media picked it up. So then we got a flurry of counter-active stories that were making it all positive. Harry has been promoted. Harry and Meghan are the only two people that could get a demotion from going from the position of president to a board member and make it seem, well, a demotion is a promotion. Now, at the time when this story came out, people like myself, we were laughing at it going, he's obviously just tried to cover it up because he's been demoted to just being a member of the board. But with this story that's just come out, it's so much sinister, and it is my true belief that the reason why Harry stepped down from such a prominent position is because he was covering his arse, or he had been advised to by his own legal team. As president, he would have had more accountability than what he does as a board member, because his responsibilities are then diluted across the other board members. But what Harry hasn't counted on, not only has this story broken in the media, the world is now aware of it, so has the story of the fact Harry and Meghan were told of these crimes being committed back in May 2023, 8 months ago, and they took no action. Harry remained president of the same organisation for a further 5 months. The authorities were not alerted. There had been no investigation as far as what I am seeing in the news reports. Now, the Daily Mail has done a full investigation and they approached Archewell. An Archewell spokesperson turned around and said, when the Duke became aware of these serious allegations, he immediately escalated them to the CEO and chairman of the board of African Parks, the appropriate people to handle the next steps. Now, Harry might be quick to pass the buck, but let's not forget, Harry was president of this organisation for 6 years until last year. He has worked with them for even longer. Harry has continued to promote this organisation with his name, his title, his royal connections, despite knowing that these atrocities were being committed. The letter came from Survival International, an organisation that fights for the rights and protection of Indigenous tribes. But the fact it was accompanied by a video appeal from a Baka tribesman to Harry and Meghan directly is deeply concerning that they did absolutely nothing. Harry and Meghan demand action to be taken over the smallest petty slights. But when it turns out they are presented with serious evidence to do with atrocities being committed against people and they could do something about it, they can use their position and platform to do so, they, it would seem, have done absolutely nothing. Where is the feminist and the outspoken women's rights activist Meghan Markle? Where is the woman who on her last visit to Africa stood on a tree stump and told the African women and girls in front of her that she was their sister? Where is the moral outrage from all of the race baiters, media personalities, some who call themselves doctors as they spew their vitriol on TV? The same ones who mercilessly attacked William and Catherine's Caribbean tour, that went for William's jugular over a single statement to do with war apparently being more common in Africa that he was reported to have said by, I think, one person on social media. As it turned out, the video footage showed that Prince William said no such thing, but they dined on it for days. Social media, they were appearing on TV shows, everyone was debating, and of course all of the racism scandal that Harry and Meghan decided to dump on the royal family when they didn't get their own way. Where's Omid Scobie? Where are all of these people that would be screaming from the rooftops for the blood of William if it was actually one of Prince William's charities? Or worse, Prince William and Catherine had been notified of what was happening and they chose to take no action. Radio silence, crickets, tumbleweeds, you name it, there is not a peep from any of them. Now, Africa Parks has obviously done their very own counter statement, and they have turned around and said that they immediately launched an investigation, but Survival International didn't cooperate. I'm sorry, I find that hard to believe, the fact it's been released that they have been telling them about this happening for the last decade. And also, they are responsible for their rangers and their park managers. The fact is, if they wanted to do an immediate investigation, why are they not going to see the backer people? Why would you wait for another organisation? Surely, if you have concerns that this is actually happening to those people, they would be your first direct point of call. They are doing exactly the same to what Harry has done through the media, or rather Archewell's spokesperson. Harry has now demanded action must be taken. Well, where was Harry's demands for action to be taken in May 2023 when he saw that video and he read that letter? Where was Harry and Meghan's demands that something should be done? Why was Harry not threatening to leave the organisation, to throw them under the bus? Harry and Meghan called themselves humanitarians, and they had a real opportunity here to do something of worth, to use their platform and their position to genuinely try and help people, especially because this is an organisation that Harry was the president of and is still a board member on. This is on his watch. Now, of course, Harry is not responsible for other people's actions, but his silence after being told makes him as guilty as the CEO, as the chairman, and anyone else that was informed of exactly what was happening yet did nothing. Harry and Meghan had a personal plea, a personal video sent to them by the backer, directly to them, and they handed it over and did nothing. Now, I'm sorry, I struggle to see how Harry and Meghan can live with themselves and call themselves humanitarians here. I can speak for myself here only, but if I found out I was working for an organisation or a charity that was committing these crimes, or at least they were being accused of it, I would do absolutely everything in my power to get it fully investigated. I wouldn't stop, given the nature of these allegations, until I got to at least the bottom of it, or you would just get it to the authorities. There is no way that you would just pass it over, go, all right, well, you can deal with that now. That's not something I deal with, and not follow that up. As I said, this isn't small accusations. This is absolutely huge. Now, Harry can scream from the rooftops now and scramble around for PR saying, oh, he passed it over to the right people to deal with, or he demands that this takes place now, and there's people calling for Harry to step down. I'm sorry, it's too little too late. And I'm going to end the video on a quote reportedly by Meghan, but as we know, Meghan likes to plagiarise. But she once said, if you are complacent, then you are complicit. And in this instance, never has a truer word been spoken. So I really am struggling to see how Harry is going to backpedal his way out of this one. This is an incredibly big hole that they have found themselves in, and I don't think there's that many people that are going to be willing to throw them ropes anymore. So guys, that's it for me on this video, and I will see you hopefully with a lot more of a cheerful video next time. Take care for now. Bye.